The second honoree is Howard Milstein. This is going to become a bit of a refrain, but he and I have also worked together for a long time, and I am also likewise not going to say how long that's been, but it's been more than a month now, right? At least. And perhaps more importantly, I have the great pleasure of introducing and thanking Howard actually quite a bit. And the reason for that is that he does so much for us, but not just for us. He does it for so many others. And what's remarkable about Howard's work, and I don't mean just his philanthropy, it is his willingness to roll up his sleeves and lend his considerable intellect and his considerable talents as an innovator, as a business leader, as a leader of organizations, to all of these various groups with which he becomes involved. And he rolls up his sleeve in a way that pushes the groups to attain new heights. I think he's going to talk about this in a bit, but he's just done some work that, you know, it's overwhelming, with the New York Blood Center and some research in that area that, and are you going to mention this? That will have literally a life-saving impact on thousands and thousands of people yet unknown. It is some incredibly important work, breaking through in ways that we probably didn't think possible. So it's this relentless spirit that Howard has to contribute to the public good that led us to this award tonight. But we don't normally honor more than one person. So when we decided that we wanted to honor Howard, we said, but what do we give him? What do you give Howard? What kind of award do you give him? And we wrestled with lots of different things. The Teddy Roosevelt Award has its own special legacy, which is detailed in your program. But this award is new. And finally we said, you know, there's only one word that describes Howard. He's a humanitarian. What's the root of humanitarian? He's a great human being. So we thought a humanitarian award for Howard would be the most fitting way to not only say thanks, but to pay tribute to this enormous spirit of generosity and this enormous willingness to just give of himself and of his money. So in that spirit, Howard, we thank you for all you do, and we'd ask you to accept our Humanitarian Award.
Thank you, Richard. It's always a pleasure to be introduced by you, and I'm amazed that you keep coming up with new different things to say. I actually was not going to talk about our work in healthcare and other fields, but first I want to thank you for making me look good for such a long time. And working with you all these years has been an immensely exciting and rewarding experience for me personally. I've watched you build the Citizens Crime Commission into an international presence, and I've seen you do the same for the law firm of Constantine Cannon. You're a true innovator, and I'm proud to be your partner in so many productive endeavors. On your watch, the Crime Commission has been at the cutting edge of many initiatives. I'm proud to be associated with all the ones that you've mentioned. There are a couple others that deserve noting as well. The Crime Commission has done stellar work in preventing gang violence, both online and offline. Violence is often exacerbated by social media, so you've developed e-Responders, a groundbreaking program that employs mediators to step in when disputes arise among users of social media websites. Hundreds, if not thousands, of 16 and 17-year-olds languish in New York's prison system, despite studies showing that incarceration of adolescents increases recidivism and is harmful to teenage development. With your data-driven approach, the Crime Commission has played a pivotal role in raising the age of criminal responsibility in New York State to 18, joining the other 48 states that have that number. But tonight, I don't want to focus on any particular program. I want to focus on a word in the Crime Commission's name, that of citizen. And I'm going to look at this Humanitarian Award through the light of that word. The people who protect us are only as effective as the citizens who support them. We are their eyes and we are their ears. They depend upon us to help them help us. We cannot delegate the responsibility of protecting our community and our way of life solely to the professionals. That responsibility ultimately is ours as citizens. Engaged citizens make a community stronger. They make a community healthier and better able to face the inevitable challenges that arise. There is a sense of well-being and belonging that comes from working together to preserve the common good, and there is an even greater power in taking an active role in protecting it. And engaged citizenry is our greatest antidote to fear. Nothing affects the way people live as fear does. Without a sense of safety, children can't learn, businesses don't thrive, cultural institutions lose their audiences, and neighborhoods collapse. The strength of an engaged citizenry is in its ability to combat feelings of victimhood and instead to empower us. We must constantly ask ourselves, what can we do to help our city and our country? Tonight, you honor me for my humanitarian work. That work is my form of citizen engagement. Those of us with the ability to do so have a special responsibility to take on the social, medical, economic, and ecological challenges of our time. My family has long held the conviction that philanthropy and the private sector should hold themselves accountable for the occasional moral imbalances of capitalism and balance efficiency with compassion. We believe philanthropy and the private sector have a duty to carry out the unfinished business of American capitalism by completing what the government is so ill-suited to do. As Mike Bloomberg recently wrote, governments do not innovate very effectively because innovation involves risk, and elected officials avoid risks that could damage their careers. And it can be hard to justify spending the public's money on untested ideas. Philanthropy can't replace government, but it can supplement it in powerful ways. Each one of us has the capacity to engage in public service. Each one of us can be a humanitarian, and as citizens of this great nation, we are called upon to do so. There are no contributions too small, no involvement without merit or impact. It is the very act of engagement that unites us in cause and spirit. I'm honored to receive and to accept this first of its kind Humanitarian Award from the Citizens Crime Commission of New York. To be recognized by an organization for which I have such respect is truly satisfying. Philanthropy in the service of humanity isn't just about writing checks. You have to find the right partners to make sure that those philanthropic dollars are being used effectively. I cannot imagine better partners than you, Richard, and the Citizens Crimes Commission in this field. I'm proud of the good you've done already, and I remain deeply committed to our continued progress. In closing, I want to congratulate my co-honorees, Representative Carolyn McCarthy, my friend, and Commissioner Bratton, and Ricky, you get the credit too, other friends, and it's a great feeling to be with all of you tonight with so many of my dear friends. Thank you.